Wow, that's such a cool idea to build. Why didn't I figure it out myself? Let me show you a guide on how to build Verity.
Round 1.
I start by building Verity with bent legs instead of making the character stand perfectly straight. Even a small change in posture can make a statue feel much more alive. Artists often describe this as giving a character a sense of weight. When both legs are completely straight, a figure can look stiff, almost like a mannequin. Slightly bending the knees makes it appear as though the character is ready to move at any moment, even though it is built entirely from blocks. I use yellow wool for most of the body because wool has a soft texture that works well for cartoon-style characters. In game design, bright colors are often chosen for friendly-looking characters because they immediately attract attention and are easy to recognize from a distance. That is especially important in Minecraft, where large statues are usually viewed from many different angles and distances. Starting with the legs also helps establish the proportions for the rest of the build, ensuring that every other body part fits naturally above them. From there, I shape an angular torso that matches Minecraft's blocky style instead of trying to imitate smooth curves. One interesting principle of stylized design is that simplicity often makes a character more memorable. Many famous game mascots use very clean geometric forms because the brain remembers simple silhouettes much faster than complicated ones. Large statues benefit from the same idea. If someone can instantly recognize the character from far away, the design has already achieved one of its biggest goals. Keeping the torso compact also shifts more visual attention toward the head and the object held in Verity's hand. This creates a balanced composition where viewers naturally explore the statue from the center outward instead of focusing on only one area. I extend Verity's right arm forward and place a bright yellow cube in its hand, decorating the front of the cube with a smiling slime face made from black concrete. Holding an object is a simple but effective way to make a character feel more interactive. In sculpture, props are often used to tell part of a story without requiring movement or dialogue. A sword suggests bravery, a book suggests knowledge, and even a small cube can become a defining feature if it attracts enough attention. The smiling face immediately changes the mood of the build as well. Human brains naturally notice faces, even extremely simple ones made from only a few shapes. Psychologists call this pareidolia, the tendency to recognize faces in ordinary objects. That is why even a tiny arrangement of black blocks can suddenly make a plain cube feel playful and full of personality. Finally, I build Verity's large yellow head and give it an enormous open mouth that becomes the main focus of the entire statue. Inside the mouth, I use black concrete to create depth, while quartz stairs and slabs form oversized teeth that stand out against the darker interior. Creature and character designers often make mouths much larger than they would realistically be because mouths naturally draw attention and communicate emotion more strongly than almost any other facial feature.
Oh, wow!
Juhu! We're going to build Verity today. I love building monsters. Mikey has probably already built his Verity. Mikey, is that all you've built in that time? Is this really Verity?
JJ, you only know how to offend me. By the way, I tried very hard.
Mikey, but your Verity is so small. He won't scare anyone.
Oh, that's it. Stop judging. Maybe then you'll show me how to build Verity.
Of course, we ran to the place.
JJ, good luck to you. I'll wait for you at the house.
Thanks, then I'll start. Round 2. Instead of building Verity from scratch during the challenge, I decide to use a command to place a version that I had already built in my spare time. Time-limited competitions are often about making smart decisions rather than doing every task manually. Professional builders frequently prepare templates, reusable designs, or construction modules that can later be refined for a specific project. Minecraft commands work in a similar way, allowing large structures to be transferred almost instantly while leaving plenty of time for creative improvements. The statue itself is built from a mixture of yellow and orange blocks, giving the surface far more depth than a single material could achieve. Real sculptures and architectural facades rarely appear perfectly uniform because subtle changes in color and texture make large objects feel much more natural. Verity's unusually long arms also create a distinctive silhouette that immediately separates this version from a normal character model. After placing the statue, I focus on one of the most expressive details, the smile. By replacing blocks on the face with quartz stairs and slabs, I create a cleaner, smoother curve than ordinary full blocks could provide. Minecraft builders often use stairs for facial features because they soften otherwise rigid shapes, allowing even a cubic statue to display a surprisingly natural expression. The result is a giant Verity that already looks impressive but is still ready for further refinement. Although the statue is already complete, I decide that one feature deserves a complete redesign: the left arm. Many experienced artists are willing to rebuild an important section even after hours of work because they understand that improving one key element can transform the entire project. It is easy to become attached to something you have already built, but good design often requires the confidence to replace a decent idea with a better one. Architects follow the same philosophy throughout the planning process. Entire sections of buildings are sometimes redesigned dozens of times before construction begins, simply because a stronger solution is found. Minecraft encourages this mindset as well. Since blocks can be removed and replaced without permanent consequences, builders have the freedom to experiment until every part of the structure contributes to the overall vision. Removing the original arm is therefore not a setback. It is an investment in making the finished statue more expressive and memorable. When rebuilding the arm, I deliberately combine many different yellow blocks instead of relying on only one material. Minecraft offers several shades and textures that belong to the same color family, and mixing them creates a much richer surface. Real sculptors and architects constantly work with variation rather than perfect uniformity. Stone buildings contain natural veins, wooden beams have unique grain patterns, and metal develops subtle differences as it ages. These small changes prevent large surfaces from looking flat or artificial. Minecraft builders recreate that effect by blending blocks with similar colors but different textures. From a distance, the arm still appears bright yellow, yet as players move closer, they begin noticing layers of visual detail that make the statue feel far more realistic. This technique is often called adding texture through material variation, and it is one of the easiest ways to make enormous builds appear professionally crafted. Instead of letting the arm rest naturally at Verity's side, I extend it forward toward the viewer. This dramatically changes the relationship between the statue and its surroundings because the build no longer occupies only its own space. It reaches into the environment around it. Sculptors often use this technique to break the invisible boundary between artwork and audience. A figure pointing, reaching, or holding something outward immediately feels more interactive than one standing in a perfectly symmetrical pose. The extended arm also creates a strong directional line that naturally guides the viewer's eyes toward the object it will soon be holding. Good composition is rarely accidental. Every major shape is positioned to lead attention from one important feature to the next, ensuring that the entire statue is explored rather than only its face. By changing nothing more than the position of a single arm, the whole build becomes significantly more dynamic and engaging. With the new arm finished, I use commands to create a perfectly shaped sphere resting in Verity's hand. Spheres are among the most challenging forms to build in Minecraft because the game is based entirely on cubes. Unlike circles drawn on paper, Minecraft spheres must rely on carefully planned patterns that trick the eye into seeing smooth curves. Builders often spend a long time calculating the correct placement of every layer, ensuring the sphere looks balanced from every direction. Commands make constructing such complex geometry much faster, but they do not replace the planning required beforehand. Every diameter has its own block pattern, and even a small mistake can make the finished shape appear stretched or uneven. Holding a perfect sphere also creates an interesting visual contrast with Verity's angular body, highlighting the difference between geometric forms and making the entire composition feel more sophisticated. I build the sphere entirely from gold blocks, giving it a bright appearance that immediately draws attention. Gold has always been associated with rarity, value, and importance across many cultures, so viewers naturally assume that a golden object must have special meaning. Designers frequently use this psychological effect by placing the brightest or most reflective material exactly where they want the audience to look first. Against the warm yellows and oranges of Verity's body, the gold still stands out because of its metallic texture and stronger highlights. Even though the color palette remains harmonious, the sphere becomes the visual centerpiece of the statue. Good composition is often about creating one clear focal point rather than competing points of interest, and the glowing golden sphere naturally becomes that focus. To finish the design, I give the sphere its own face by placing simple eyes and a smiling mouth from black concrete on the front. It is fascinating how a few dark shapes can instantly transform an ordinary object into something that appears to have its own personality. Character designers often rely on this principle because the human brain is exceptionally good at recognizing faces, even when they are made from only a handful of lines or dots. By adding facial features to the sphere, it stops feeling like a decorative object and instead becomes a companion or symbolic item connected to Verity. The statue now tells a more interesting visual story without needing any animation or dialogue. Rather than simply holding a golden ball, Verity appears to be presenting a cheerful character to the viewer, making the entire build feel more playful and imaginative, while giving players another memorable detail to discover. After completing the exterior, I carve an entrance into Verity, transforming the statue from a massive sculpture into a place that can actually be explored. One of the biggest differences between a decorative build and a successful architectural project is accessibility. A structure may look incredible from the outside, but if players cannot comfortably move through it, much of its potential is lost. That is why I pay close attention to how the interior will be reached and navigated. I install a staircase as the main vertical connection between the different levels and add a hatch to provide a compact transition where a full staircase would take up unnecessary space. Architects call these elements vertical circulation, and they are just as important as doors or hallways because they determine how people experience a building. Even fantasy structures follow this principle. Whether it is a castle, a giant statue, or a futuristic tower, a clear circulation system makes exploration intuitive and enjoyable. By planning the routes before decorating the rooms, I ensure that the interior feels organized instead of becoming a confusing maze hidden inside Verity. The next step is refining the inside by filling the remaining gaps and correcting unfinished sections using both manual building and commands. This stage may not be as visually dramatic as constructing the exterior, but it plays a huge role in the overall quality of the build. Experienced Minecraft builders know that large projects often require several refinement passes after the main structure is complete. Commands are excellent for replacing large groups of blocks or creating consistent surfaces, while manual building allows me to adjust small details that require a more artistic approach. This combination is similar to modern construction, where heavy machinery handles large-scale work, while skilled workers complete the finishing touches by hand. It is time for some furniture. With the structure fully prepared, I begin turning the empty interior into a welcoming living space by adding furniture alongside useful Minecraft equipment. A well-designed interior should always balance comfort with functionality, giving every room a purpose instead of filling it with random decorations. While arranging the furniture, I continue refining the walls wherever necessary, smoothing uneven areas, and adjusting the proportions of the rooms so the entire interior feels cohesive. Interior designers often make these kinds of changes during the furnishing stage because seeing objects in place helps reveal where a wall should be straighter, where more space is needed, or where the overall composition feels unbalanced. This process is completely normal in both architecture and game design, since buildings often evolve until the very last stage of a project. By combining practical survival items with decorative furniture, the inside of Verity becomes much more than a hollow statue. It turns into a functional Minecraft home where every detail supports both everyday gameplay and the impressive appearance of the build. Great, my Verity is ready. It's time for me to show it to the guys.
Wow, JJ, you got such a big Verity. And how did you manage to build it?
Thank you, Mikey. I'm very glad that you liked my building. Well, I think it's time for us to finish.
Yes, JJ, you're right.
Subscribe and like. Bye-bye.
Wow, that's such a cool idea to build. Why didn't I figure it out myself? Let's learn how to build Roomie from K-pop Demon Hunter.
Round 1.
Okay, so I am starting my build right now, and I am going to make Roomie from K-pop Demon Hunter. I know she is a really cool character, and I want to try my best here. First, I am grabbing some white terracotta, and I am going to use it for her legs. White terracotta has this slightly warm off-white tone to it, kind of like skin color if you squint a little bit. It is not pure, bright white like concrete. It has a softer, more natural feel to it. That is why I am picking it for the skin parts. I am placing blocks for both legs, making them a few blocks tall and keeping them the same height on both sides because you know, legs should be symmetrical. Now I am moving up to her body and I am switching to gray concrete for the skirt. Gray is a pretty neutral color for clothing. It goes with everything. I am making the skirt a few blocks wide and a couple blocks tall, just wrapping it around the lower part of her torso. Above the skirt, I am switching to yellow concrete for her top. Yellow is a fun, bright color that stands out against the gray skirt. And now I am adding her arms on both sides using white terracotta to match the skin on her legs. Now I am going up to build her head, and this is probably the most important part because the face is what makes a character recognizable. I am using white terracotta again for the base of the head, making it a few blocks wide and a few blocks tall, like a cube shape. On a real person, obviously the head is round, but in Minecraft everything is boxy, so a cube is totally fine. For the mouth, I am placing a small piece of red concrete. Red concrete is perfect for lips because it has that bold color that stands out against the pale white terracotta skin. Just 1 or 2 blocks of red in the right spot, and suddenly the face has expression. Now for the eyes, I am using white concrete for the eye whites. White concrete is brighter and more pure than white terracotta, so it creates a nice contrast. The eyes pop out from the face. I am adding buttons on top of the white concrete for the pupils. Buttons are these tiny little blocks that sit on the surface of other blocks, and they are perfect for small details, like pupils or dots, because they do not take up a whole block space. Now for the hair, I am grabbing purple wool. Roomie has this cool purple braided hairstyle, and purple wool has a nice rich color that looks great for fantasy anime style hair. I am building the braid coming down from the top of her head. Wool has a soft, fluffy texture which actually works well for hair because hair is soft and flowy, not hard and rigid. Phew, it took so much effort. Great, my Roomie is ready.
What? Hello?
Hey, Banana Kid, look, I built it. Do you like?
No.
What? Did I make a too stupid Roomie face?
Oh.
It's a pity, but I tried so hard. Maybe then you'll try to build a better Roomie yourself?
Yay!
They ran to the place. This is where your building will be. Are you ready?
Yahoo!
Then go ahead.
Round 2.
Banana Kid is beginning from the very bottom, which is the right way to do it. He is grabbing black concrete and placing blocks for Roomie's boots. Black concrete is a solid choice for footwear because a lot of character boots and shoes in anime and games are black. It is a clean, dark color that grounds the character visually. The boots are just a few blocks each, but they give the build a nice solid base to stand on. Black also creates strong contrast against whatever comes above it, so the boots clearly separate from the legs. Now, Banana Kid is switching to white concrete for Roomie's legs. Interesting that he went with white concrete instead of white terracotta like I did. White concrete is brighter and smoother while terracotta has that warmer tone. It is a different interpretation of skin color, but it still works. He is building both legs up from the boots evenly. Above the legs, he is using blue concrete for shorts. Blue is a nice color choice. It adds variety to the outfit and gives the character a sporty casual look. The shorts are just a couple blocks tall, sitting right above the legs. Blue concrete has a bold, saturated color that pops nicely against the white legs below. Now he is building the upper body clothing using a combination of white and yellow concrete. It looks like Roomie is wearing some kind of crop top or jacket. Banana Kid is carefully leaving a small gap or using a different color block right at the belly area to create a cutout around the navel. That is a nice detail because a lot of anime and game characters have outfits with midriff cutouts or crop tops that show skin on the stomach. By leaving that spot open or using a skin-colored block, Banana Kid is adding a fashion detail that makes the outfit look more interesting and accurate to the character design. The yellow concrete adds that bright pop of color while the white concrete keeps things balanced. The combination of white and yellow for the top creates visual layers in the clothing, like maybe a yellow jacket over a white shirt or yellow accents on a white top. Now Banana Kid is moving up to build Roomie's head. He is using white terracotta for the base of the head shape, building it up block by block into a cube-like form. Okay, so now he is working on the face, and it looks like he is giving her a silly, goofy expression. The eyes and mouth are placed in a way that makes her look kind of derpy or funny, not serious at all. I mean, come on, Banana Kid. Roomie is supposed to be a cool demon hunter, not a cartoon clown. But honestly, it is kind of funny looking. Now Banana Kid is going to the sides to add arms. He is using yellow concrete and white terracotta together. The yellow concrete represents the sleeves of her outfit, while the white terracotta at the bottom represents her bare skin on the lower arms and hands. That is good thinking, matching the arm clothing to the torso clothing, so the outfit looks consistent all around. The arms hang down on both sides of the body, and they add width to the build, making the character look less like a tall stick and more like an actual person shape. Arms in Minecraft character builds are usually just one block wide columns hanging from the shoulders. Simple, but effective. Now Banana Kid is building upward from the top of the head to create Roomie's signature braid hairstyle. He is using purple wool blocks, stacking them up and then extending them outward and downward to form the long braid. Purple wool is perfect for this because it matches the purple hair on the sides of the head. A braid in Minecraft is tricky to build because real braids have a twisted woven pattern. But in block form, you just have to suggest the general shape, a long rope-like extension coming from the head. Banana Kid is making the braid fairly long, going several blocks past the shoulders, which gives the character a dramatic look. In character design, long hair or long braids add movement and personality. They make the character feel more dynamic even when standing still. Banana Kid is adding a few extra blocks at the end of the braid to make it look like the hair tapers to a point or has a small tie at the end. The purple wool looks vibrant and fun.
Ta-da! Yay!
Where did everyone run off to? Hey guys, what's that noise you're making?
Banana Kid and I are building Roomie, JJ, who did it better.
Oh, both of your buildings look great, but I think it's up to the audience to decide who did the best.
Yes, JJ, you're right. Maybe then you have comments on the construction of Banana Kid?
Yes, there are a couple of comments. You made her look so square. It's ugly.
I totally agree with you, JJ. Maybe you'll build a Roomie?
Okay, then let's run to the place as soon as possible.
JJ, good luck to you. We'll wait in the house.
That's that?
Thanks, guys. Then I'm starting. Round 3. All right, I am going to build Roomie now, and I want to approach this methodically because getting the proportions and details right is what separates a good build from a great one. I am starting at the bottom with her shoes. I am using gray concrete for the footwear. Gray is a more subtle color than black. It suggests a lighter colored boot or shoe, maybe something like gray leather or suede. It is a softer look that fits well with the rest of the outfit I have planned. I am placing the shoe blocks carefully, making them slightly wider than the legs will be so they look like actual shoes with some bulk to them. Real shoes extend beyond your ankle and foot. They have soles and structure, so making the shoe blocks a little wider sells that idea. Now, above the shoes, I am placing white terracotta for her legs, building them up evenly on both sides. Moving up to the torso now. I am using gray concrete for parts of the body. This represents her outfit. Maybe a gray dress or a gray uniform piece. Combined with white terracotta for the skin areas and white wool for some clothing details, the torso has multiple layers of visual information. White wool is different from white concrete and white terracotta in a subtle but important way. Wool has a slightly fuzzy, soft texture, while concrete is perfectly smooth and terracotta has a slight earthy warmth. By mixing these three white-ish materials, I create depth and variety in the build, even though they are all technically in the white color family. This is a technique that experienced builders use all the time. Instead of making everything out of one block, you use several blocks of similar color but different texture to add richness and dimension to the surface. Now, I am adding her arms on both sides. Yellow concrete for the upper arms, representing sleeves or gloves or some kind of outfit element, and white terracotta below for the exposed skin of her forearms and hands. The yellow adds a splash of bright color that draws the eye and breaks up the gray and white palette of the torso. Arms are important for giving a character build width and a sense of pose. Even though these arms are just hanging straight down, they complete the silhouette and make the figure instantly readable as a humanoid character. Without arms, a Minecraft character build just looks like a pillar with a head on top. Now, for the most important part, the head and face. I am building the base head shape with white terracotta. I want to make this head a good size relative to the body. In anime and game character design, characters often have slightly oversized heads compared to realistic human proportions, especially cute or young characters. A bigger head gives more room for facial details and makes the character look more expressive and appealing. I am starting with the mouth using red concrete, just a small accent of red in the right position to suggest lips or an open mouth. The placement matters a lot here, because even one block difference changes whether the character looks happy, sad, or neutral. Now the eyes, and this is where I want to really put in the effort. I am using multiple materials to build detailed eyes. White concrete forms the base of each eye, the sclera, or eye whites. Then I am adding brown concrete for the iris, the colored part of the eye. On top of that, black concrete for the pupils, the dark center of the eye. And then I am placing sea lanterns as highlight spots in the eyes. Sea lanterns glow with a soft, warm light. And when you place a small sea lantern block inside a Minecraft eye, it creates a shining highlight that makes the eyes look alive and sparkly. This is a technique that anime artists use in drawings all the time. Those little white reflection dots in anime eyes that make characters look energetic and full of life. In Minecraft, sea lanterns or glowstone can replicate that glowing highlight effect. The multi-layered eyes with white, brown, black, and glowing highlights are significantly more detailed than simple button eyes. They give the face depth and personality. Now, I am moving to the back of the head to build the hair. I am using purple wool to cover the entire back and sides of the head, blending it with the white terracotta face on the front. The hair needs to wrap around the head naturally, not just sit on top like a hat. I am also building her ears out of white terracotta, small protrusions on each side of the head between the face and the hair. Ears are a detail that many builders skip, but they add a lot of realism to a character head. Even just one or two blocks sticking out on each side suggests ear shapes. Now, I am extending the purple wool upward and outward to create her braided hairstyle. The braid goes up from the crown of the head and then flows down behind the body in a long, sweeping arc. I am making it thick and prominent because the hair is a defining feature of this character. Purple wool blocks stack and extend to form this long flowing braid shape. The braid is taking shape now as I add more purple wool blocks, extending it further and further down behind the body. I am curving it slightly as it descends because real braids have weight and gravity pulls them downward in a gentle curve. Each section of the braid gets a little narrower as it goes, tapering from a thick base at the head to a thinner tip at the end. This tapering effect makes the braid look more natural and dynamic. The purple color is bold and distinctive, immediately identifying this character as Roomie to anyone who knows the source material. Hair is one of the most recognizable features of any anime or game character, so getting the color and shape right is absolutely essential. The wool texture adds a softness to the hair that contrasts nicely with the hard, smooth concrete and terracotta used for the rest of the build. Now, I want to make this build extra special by turning it into something functional. I am going inside the build and creating a doorway, a passage that lets you enter the interior of the figure. This is what separates a statue from a building in Minecraft. A statue is just a solid sculpture you look at from outside, but a building is something you can go inside and use. By hollowing out the interior and adding an entrance, I am turning Roomie from a decoration into an actual usable structure. I am placing any missing blocks that need to be there for structural integrity, making sure the walls are solid and there are no holes or gaps where light leaks through. Inside, I am building a ladder, going up through the body to the head area. Ladders let you climb vertically in Minecraft without needing stairs, which saves a lot of interior space. At the top of the ladder, I am placing a trapdoor. Trapdoors can be opened and closed, and they serve as a hatch to access the upper level while keeping the floor solid when closed. Now, I am furnishing the interior to make it a livable space. I am placing armor stands in the corners. These are used to display suits of armor, and they add a cool decorative element, like a warrior's trophy room. I am setting down a bed so you can sleep here and set your spawn point. Next to the bed, I am placing a nightstand with a lamp on top for ambient lighting. I am adding anvils with leaf blocks on top. This is a common decorative trick in Minecraft, where the anvil serves as a sturdy base and the leaves on top look like a small potted plant or bush. It adds a natural green element to the interior that makes the space feel more alive and cozy. I am building storage cabinets along the walls for keeping items organized. On the walls, I am hanging paintings. Minecraft has various painting sizes and designs that add color and personality to any room. I am placing armor pieces on the armor stands so they display full sets of gear. Great! My Roomie is ready! It's time for me to show it to the guys.
Wow, JJ, you've got such an original Roomie.
Thank you guys. I am very glad that you liked my building. Friends, be sure to write in the comments whose building you liked the most. Well, I think it's time for us to finish.
Yes, JJ, you're right.
Subscribe and like. Bye-bye.